Okay, so the Boston accent, people make fun of it all the time. And like the thing that's the funniest about people making fun of it is that it's like all true. Like everything you hear about the Boston accent is like totally true. And so they have like this weird thing where they add R's to the end of words, or at the end, like they add R's to vowels and then they take away R's. It's really weird. So for example, they say idea, and it's like a thing, like it's a thing. It's so weird. And they like don't even think about it. It like drives me crazy. I like don't understand how it happens, but they legitimately will just be like talking and then they'll say random things like idea or like and then they'll take other things out. Like they say, you've probably heard this phrase like park the car and have it yad. They really do talk like that, and they like take the R's out, but then they add them to other things. It's super weird. So they have like the khakis, so it sounds like khakis, and then they have like yad and like yaka, and so it's like they add like this H thing to things, and then the Rhode Island accent, or like yeah, I'm from Boston, like kind of New York accent, but like a really weird. They just like take random things out and then they add them, and we would just like our mission would make fun of it all the time. We thought it was so funny when people like idea and they just add like even our names. Sometimes they'd add like these weird random like the Rhode Island accent in my name. Like you'd say, so I was Sister Blair, but in Rhode Island it was Sister Blaya. And that was like legitimate. Like they really would talk like that, and it would just, my companion and I like couldn't handle it. We just like, we'd go around our house, like our apartment, and just be like talking in this like weird accent, like Sister Blaya. It's just like the weirdest thing ever, but you get used to it and think it's hilarious. And now I say things like wicked dope, and sometimes I make jokes about like, oh, can someone pass me the khakis? Because it's a thing. And there's also like a Rhode Island accent, which is even funnier in my opinion. So there are a lot of things that I've picked up that I just like totally say now. The biggest one is I say wicked all the time, which is like you hear that a lot, is like I say wicked dope, like that's wicked dope. That's like a Boston thing, and I'd say it a lot. Like, oh, that's wicked, that's totally wicked, that's totally rad, oh, that's really groovy, or whatever. Another thing that they say that oh my gosh, our mission made shirts of this because we thought it was so funny that people would say I'm all set. So that's like the number one response. We didn't tract really, or not very often. We didn't tract our street contact because it's just like kind of a waste of time at least in New England. And so when we do, but that's like what we would hear all the time from people is when we'd like, do you want to hear more about Jesus Christ? Like, oh, I'm all set. And like you literally hear that probably like at least 10 times a day. You hear I'm all set. And so it just became like this huge mission joke that we all had like these t-shirts that said I'm all set, and we just thought it was like the funniest thing ever. So now anytime I hear anyone say that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like don't say that.